Nice.
Yesterday, Greg told you about a liberal activist calling for jihad against the Trump administration. In case you missed it, take a listen to Linda Sarsour, a lead organizer of the Women's March on Washington, speaking here at a conference last weekend.
I hope that when we stand up to those who oppress our communities, that Allah accepts from us that as a form of jihad, that we are struggling against tyrants and rulers, not only abroad in the Middle East or in the other side of the world, but here in these United States of America, where you have fascists and white supremacists and Islamophobes reigning in the White House.
Well, her words were pretty clear, but a Time magazine columnist is saying that Sarsour is being misunderstood, that she wasn't talking about violence when mentioning jihad to resist the White House. Juan, I'm going to go to you on this, because I don't think you can look at these comments in a vacuum either. I mean, so look, she has posed for a photograph with an individual who was a Hamas operative. She's also championed a woman who was involved with 2 bombings and was convicted in Israel of killing 2 people and injuring 9. She said that the underwear bomber was a CIA agent. So she's got a history. She encourages attacks on the Israel Defense Forces. So, I mean, this is a woman with a pattern of saying some pretty outrageous things here. You're obviously a reasonable man. Why does the left...
No, don't listen to that.
No, but why does the left continue to prop her up as some sort of hero? Well, President Obama also named her a champion of change.
Well, clearly, she is an advocate. And I think you got to give some credit to somebody who is a Muslim leader in America in 2017.
Not her.
When it's not very popular, and especially when she uses a word like jihad, which is going to generate lots of negative static immediately. And she did it, and I don't think there's any defending the fact that she did it. But the fact that she is willing to say, you know what, my community is under fire and stand up for it, Lisa, I got to give her some
community.
But is she
Greg,
I'm sorry, is she the person?
She is conflating her beliefs in Sharia law, which is promotes the killing of gays and the stoning of rape victims.
She believes in Sharia law?
She advocates for Sharia law. So what she's doing is she is conflating radical Islamic belief with the community. That is something that everybody accuses the right of doing. Oh, my God, you believe all Muslims are radicals. No, she actually conflates the two. She's the worst thing for that community. And what's hilarious is we see the media blaming memes for being violent and then bending over backwards to explain the nuances of a word that means basically replacing Western values with an intolerant belief system that, I mean, how can you be a liberal and promote somebody that actually believes in a belief system that is anti-gay, that would punish rape victims? Also, she like the co-conspirator of the World Trade bombings in '93. I mean, this is a bad egg.
Jesse, what's your take on this?
I believe she's un-American, and if she was to leave the country and come back, I think she should face the travel ban. I think we all know what jihad means. The definition is right here, a fight against the enemies of Islam. It's very clear. And she's a Bernie Sanders surrogate. What is it with Bernie Sanders attracting all these crazy people? I think the Scalise shooter was a Bernie Sanders campaign
let me get this straight.
Volunteer.
Are you a Trump supporter who's complaining about crazy people in other people's political camps?
No, but a lot of the Bernie supporters keep on waging violence against innocent people, Juan, so I think Bernie needs to check himself. What I really don't like is she says she doesn't also want to assimilate to the rest of America, and I think assimilation is the quintessentially most American quality. This is a melting pot, and if you're Muslim and you don't want to assimilate, I say love it or leave it.
So on Martha McCallum's show tonight, I had a chance to fill in, and we had a friend of Sarsour's on the show. He was there at the event. He works for CARE, CARE, the group, what's it called, whatever.
Ironically called CARE.
And he's based in Florida. So he says that that assimilation is not the goal of Americans, that integration is. And I didn't have a chance to talk to him about that because he would not shut up and let Ben Shapiro talk. But to me, integration basically means what Europe has done, which is basically, yeah, you can come and live next door. Assimilation is about an agreement about the ideals of America upon which our Constitution was written. And there's a fundamental misunderstanding here. Plus, he also said that they're just trying to reclaim the word jihad. As if we have perverted the word jihad. Like, that was not our fault.
Reclaim it from whom?
You know, I just think it's so important. Let me just interrupt and say, I just wanted to just say that I thought what Dana said and what Jesse said is so true, that assimilation, and this goes beyond the Muslim community, but in general, in our country with such high levels of immigrants, is an absolute essential tenet of us remaining a united America.
Right.
Yep.
Well, sure. I mean, you can look at areas like the Molenbeek area outside of Belgium.
Well, look what goes on in Canada sometimes. Remember, they almost lost Montreal, that whole Quebec thing.
Great. Well, next, Jesse caught up with some WWE fans tonight to get their take on the Trump versus CNN wrestling video. You were going to want to stay there because you're going to want to see this coming up next.